Hey, great! Welcome back, guys. So I am filming this with my vlogging camera because I'm about to take off to the airport. I'm gonna be in New York. I did pre-film this video. I'm so sorry if this is crappy quality right now, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. Now, I am aware that I'm not the first person that makes kinetic sand. There are plenty of DIYs out there. Since I do make a lot of like squishy stuff, like slime, Play-Doh, etc., kinetic sand has been very requested, and I'm actually surprised that I've never made kinetic sand before because it's actually really easy to make, and it's just a fun DIY in general. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to click that like button. If you just like this video, it's okay, just like this video. Comment down below your video suggestions, and if you are not subscribed, then subscribe for future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's go ahead and get straight on to this video. So to make kinetic sand, you're gonna need sand. You can either collect it at the beach or whatever, or you can buy it. I bought mine at Walmart, and I bought a bunch of different colors. There are different methods to making kinetic sand. I guess it just depends on what texture you like, etc. So the very first one I'm going to show you, you're going to need some cornstarch. You're going to pour your sand into a bowl, and then you're going to pour about 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and you're going to mix that all up together. On the side, you're going to take a small bowl of water and you're going to add dish soap, and you're going to mix that together. You're not going to pour all of it into the sand. You're just going to pour slowly. You're basically just going to get it wet. You want to add very little at a time, way less than I added. I feel like I might have added a little bit too much. You don't want to add it all at once, like I said. Very little amounts, and then you're going to play with it and see how much more you need, etc. I feel like mine's a little bit too wet. You can definitely mold it and play with it. But to me, this batch basically just feels like wet sand. I didn't want to give up on this method though, so I did it again a little bit differently. So I got 3 or 4 tablespoons of cornstarch and put that into a container, and then I added a lot of dish soap. Basically what I want to do is make oobleck, not completely full-blown oobleck, but kind of have that runny, thick texture, if that makes sense. You basically want it to look like a paste, and then you're going to add your sand. My best recommendation would be to add it into the sand instead of adding the sand to the paste, because I feel like you'll have way more control and it's going to be harder to mess it up. I feel like it came out pretty good. It didn't come out perfect, but I mean, it does mold and it does kind of run a little bit like kinetic sand. But it is a bit messy. I don't want to give up yet. This method I'm sure works. I'm just not doing it right, and I cannot get it down 100%. But that's okay. I'm going to go on to the next method. The next method is the slime method. And I better not mess this up because I have made slime about 100 times on this channel. And there's just no way, okay? I freaking feel like an expert at making slime right now. I make it so much. So there's no way. I better not mess this up, in other words. So to make slime, all you need is borax or liquid starch. I'm using liquid starch because I feel like it's just so much easier to make it that way. You just add the liquid starch slowly into your glue until everything starts to come together. Once it does, you stick your hands in there and you get to kneading, etc. So once it's done, you're taking a little piece of slime and putting it into a bowl, and you're gonna add your sand. You're gonna mix it all together until it starts to come together, kind of like sand slime. For this method, you also need water and baby oil, and I completely forgot until it was getting super thick. That's when I started to add it. You just kind of wet the sand, and then you add the oil. Also, because it's such a little amount of slime with so much sand, you need the water and oil to make it slimy, if that makes any sense. It has to be able to run like kinetic sand, if you know what I mean. This is how my first batch came out with this method, but I did not want to give up. I feel like this just looks like sand slime. So I'm going to try it again until I get it right. So what I did this time was I did the same thing. I took a little piece of slime and I added the sand. And this time I added water and oil soon. Like, I didn't wait for it to get super stiff before I did it. I did it from the beginning, and this is how it came out. I feel like this looks pretty cool. It feels like kinetic sand, but I think it's still a little bit slimy. I don't know, I feel like I can get it more sandy. For my last batch, I took a tiny piece of slime, way smaller than the other ones, about half the size, a tiny amount, and then I added my sand, added my water, added my oil, everything at once. And this is when I came out with a perfect batch. You only need a tiny amount of slime to have it run like kinetic sand, but you need way more sand, and the baby oil and water are there to help it run smoothly and not get so stiff and hard. This DIY kinetic sand has such a cool texture to it. You guys need to try it for yourself. It has such a freaking cool texture. I don't even know how to explain it. It feels almost identical to kinetic sand, except it's almost stretchier. I don't know, it's just so cool. You can form a bunch of different shapes with it, and you can also let it run through your fingers. I don't know, it's pretty awesome. Even just cutting through this feels so amazing. It's just such a satisfying texture. I don't know how to explain it. You guys need to try it for yourself. I also really wanted to try this where you put kinetic sand into a soda bottle. If you guys do not watch Pom Pom or have stumbled across any of his videos, he has this series where he puts kinetic sand in soda bottles and it just looks so extremely satisfying. I had to try it. So basically I just cut the soda into 3 and molded it to it. And then you put the label and the cap on and then you're just supposed to squish it and it just looks really cool. But mine was a huge fail. I couldn't keep the cap on and it was just all falling apart. But it's just really cool and it just looks so satisfying. And that's basically it on how to make kinetic sand. I really hope you guys enjoyed. You guys definitely have to try this. It is a texture like no other and it's just so fun to play with. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if you did, make sure to click that like button, comment down your video suggestions, subscribe if you are not. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!